Welcome back to The Blend. They've been a trusted business for over 30 years. Precious Metals Refining NV buys gold, precious metals, jewelry, and watches, and you can find them located in the heart of Henderson.
Joining us now is the owner, Tony Bucca. Welcome, Tony. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you very much.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
We were talking in the green room. You are so passionate about what you do. You've been in the business over 30 years. Tell us about your experience.
Well, I think you have to be passionate to be good at what you do. And you have to have 30 years experience, doesn't hurt any. We buy gold, diamonds, high-grade watches, Rolex and above, silver flatware, whatever. We have an X-ray spectrometer that we use, and tells us pretty much within 1/100th of 1% of what we have.
Wow.
We can separate everything out. You bring us your piles, and we'll tell you what you have. I enjoy it. It's a few people in town are as good as we are and very reputable. A lot of them, maybe not so much.
Well, because you pass, like, if they're a dime a dozen, you go down any random street, across the entire valley, you'll see, we buy gold, we buy gold, we buy gold. They're not all the same.
No, they're not.
No.
And you have to, you can't take, I say it like this, you can't take a 5-pound sack of potatoes and make it a 10-pound sack. I'm not going to sit there and be able to pay you more than what the item's worth, but I'm going to pay you as much money as my best competitor would pay you. No one's going to be able to pay you more. That's the key. You have to enjoy what you're doing and pay people a fair price for their items and have a good experience. When you leave, you have to be happy with what happened in my store. And you have to have a personal experience with me, who you'll see. And that's it. I love it.
Yeah.
That's right. And you're from the East Coast originally?
I grew up in Michigan, in Detroit.
Oh, in Michigan?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And I spent several years in Arizona. I've been up here for about 20 years in Las Vegas. I love it here. This is my home. I can't think of any place I'd rather live than Las Vegas.
How did you start in the buying jewelry game? How did this all start for you?
Well, I started off at retail stores, and I was buying when buying wasn't popular because it was so interesting to me because it's like a treasure hunt all the time.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
I love what I do.
How often do you see something come across your table that you're like, you know, I'm going to keep this one?
I know.
If I don't show it to my wife, I got a good chance.
She's the one that wants to keep it.
My wife, Lillian, we all want to keep everything. It happened as recently as yesterday. She looked and goes, oh, I'm keeping this, put it aside.
Wow.
It happens. It's like a 401k.
There we go. That's right.
Tony, sometimes people can be surprised at what items a store like yours will buy. I mean, we understand the gold and the diamonds, specialty watches. What else? Like, open our minds to what we might be able to sell.
I'll buy any unique item to have a good understanding for. Fine art, I'm fairly good at. I'm very good at ladies' high-end handbags, Louis Vuitton and above.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
And you have to be careful because there's a lot of knockoffs.
Yeah.
If you have that, you bring it in. Please, if you have a receipt when you bought it, please bring that with you. It helps. Documentation, the pedigree. It's very important.
Otherwise, you have an eye for, you know, you can take a look at the stitching, figure out what's
exactly right.
A little mess.
Yeah. No one can make a detail like high-end handbags. They're so perfect. I bought Tiffany lamps.
Tiffany sold lamps. Wow.
In the old days, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And any Baccarat and Lalique crystal, I'll buy. Most people won't do it. I like it. I understand it, and I have a market for almost any of that stuff.
There is a market for crystal, isn't there? Yeah.
Now, I'm curious, when you take the stuff in, do you resell it at the property as well? Or?
Yeah, I try to resell at the property. If not, I have dealers all over the country that I call up, and they're just
so if everyone's watching, they're like, oh, somebody brought in a Tiffany lamp, I want one, they can swing by and actually check it out. Well, not at the moment, but yeah.
Yeah, I had a guy that was so passionate about Tiffany lamps, he couldn't believe he flew in to buy the lamp.
No kidding.
No
wow, those
kidding.
must be rare.
Oh, people, well, they are, and they're unusual depending on which lamp it is.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of fun. And you never know what's going to walk in that door every day.
That's
and
an
I
adventure.
believe you have to treat people with the same way you want to be treated on the other side of the table. And if you give them that respect, then it's usually a very good experience.
No doubt.
That's true. Why not make it fun? Why not make it a great experience?
It's got to be fun.
Yeah.
If it's not fun, why are you doing it?
Thank you. That's what Sean and I say.
Say you got a lamp, you're going to bring it. Yeah, it's like, listen, I'm going to bring this Tiffany lamp. I'll bring it to the pawn shop. It's right next door. Are they leaving so much money on the table when they're doing it? I'm assuming. That's it.
You know, the pawn shop usually are much younger guys. They have a very little experience, generally speaking. And maybe they worked at some retail store in the mall 6 months, a year prior, and they're never going to give you the fair, honest price, in my opinion, that some of the respectable jewelry stores that do buying will do. And there's very respectable ones out there besides us. There's a few, and they're very good at it.
But we're not talking about them. We're talking about you.
Yeah, we're talking about you.
And I will do as good and better if I can than anyone else.
Awesome.
That's my job.
Good for you. I can see how the knowledge in this industry is accumulative too.
Yes.
Because looking at designer handbags for 4 decades is different than looking at them for 3 years.
Absolutely.
Good for you.
And I'm a member of the International Watch and Jewelry Guild for almost 30 years, which is a very prestigious organization of buyers and sellers from all over the planet.
Awesome.
And also International Watch and Clock Collectors. I've been a member for 30-some years.
He's got
I'm a collector
credentials.
as well.
Thank you
fun.
so much.
It's great having you.
Great to have you.
Precious Metals Refining NV. They're located on Eastern Avenue, which is just south of Horizon Ridge Parkway in Henderson, near Smith's. You can contact them at the number or by visiting the website you see right there on your screen. They're proud sponsors of the Morning Blend.